Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, the sound of the sleigh bells tells us it's time for yet another holiday release. Are you exhausted yet? I know I am. This time we're going to talk about Pat McGrath's new Mega Mothership Celestial Divinity. We're going to try on, we're going to talk about it, we're going to swatch, we're going to do everything you expect, plus a little bit of a chat about Pat McGrath. You see, all of these holiday releases are coming fast and furious, and it can be a bit much. We can't, none of us really, can buy everything. Maybe some of us, but maybe we shouldn't, right? So we have to pick and choose. And what I hear a lot from my subscribers, from friends I know, is that Pat McGrath Labs comes with a certain amount of timidity and a little bit of anxiety. People don't really know what to do with it. And I mean, that really comes into play when we're speaking of this palette because it is so large. And that's not the only time I'm going to show it. We will talk about it. You know, the reason there's that little bit of feeling of not quite being in the know when it comes to Pat McGrath stuff is that Mother Pat is indeed a confirmed fashion person. Let me just put on my fashion journalist hat here so I can talk to you about this. Pat McGrath is not your average makeup artist. She is known, as you probably know, by Vogue to be the top makeup artist in the entire world. And she honed her skills doing incredibly editorial looks with Edward Enninful and later at Vogue with him, and also on the runways from Alexander McQueen to Prada to Givenchy, anyone you can name. And her looks are always outrageous and creative and esteemed as well. And she releases her makeup a little bit like it's high fashion. Not a little bit like, actually entirely like, because her makeup creations are indeed high fashion. So there's a price tag that goes with that and also a certain exclusivity. If you have purchased Pat McGrath before, it's sometimes difficult to deal with customer service, and then it takes a while, and then things are secretly released. You know, people sometimes lose their patience with it, but Pat McGrath always has us wondering what she will do next. And not to talk down to anyone, because so many of us know already, so forgive me, but those who don't, the reason that we have Mothership palettes and she's called Mother Pat and Mother is because Pat McGrath was always seen by the models and younger makeup artists she was working with as a sort of mother figure. She supposedly knew everything, even if it happened behind her back, and plus was a sort of mentor to a lot of the younger models who were there in Paris, in Milan, in London, even without their mothers. And so she kind of became that for people, just kind of an all-knowing figure. And there is something about Mother Pat that feels almost like, you know, she knows and is she judging us? I just don't want anybody to be intimidated. I'm hoping today to break down this palette. And the reason I had this little chat with you, princesses, is because I do think that this, her first ever 18-pan palette, is where that slight intimidation could really come into play. So let's discuss it a little bit. We're going to look at it, we're going to swatch it, and we're going to do two different eye looks. We're going to do an everyday eye and then a kind of wilder eye and see what we come up with, okay? So this is our first Mega Mothership with 18 pans. So let's take a closer look at it. We'll talk about what's a repeat and what isn't. There is all 18 of the pans, 69 ounces of product, princesses, for $78. We're going to compare it here. I have an average ordinary 10-pan palette from Pat McGrath with 40.47 ounces of product. That goes for $125. And just to compare the size, you can see you are getting more product but less of each individual color, because for $125 this has 10 pans and for $78 this has 18 pans. We also have the cardboard packaging. And here's another recent release cardboard packaging, a 6-pan for $65. So you can kind of see the difference. So we are skimping a tad bit on packaging. It doesn't bother me. There's still a lovely mirror in here. It has the plastic over it, but there it is. And I think you get more colors than you could ever use. Now for me, this 18 pan palette was a win, and I'll tell you why. I know it might not seem like it this holiday season, but I do try to use my head, I try to, and restrict my purchases where I can. And when the Star Wars collections came out, I did not treat myself to the 2 6-pan Star Wars palettes. Well, lucky me, the repeats in this 18 pan are both of those 6-pan palettes. In fact, to break it down better for you, these 6 here were one Star Wars 6-pan, and these 6 on the other end were another Star Wars 6-pan. That leaves us with the 2 middle rows. Did I point to the right ones? Yes, the 2 middle rows, which are entirely new shades. And though there are some complaints about repeats, so many of us out there are everyday consumers, and if, like me, you did not purchase those Star Wars 6-pans, then, like me, all 18 of these are new to you, and I am enjoying that $78 approachable price tag. So the first thing I want to show you here when we talk about some swatches is on my arm are the new 6. So you're going to see here just the brand new 6 shades that are in this palette. And that is for those of you who have the Star Wars 6-pans and are trying to decide if you want to pick this up for these new colors. And now we are going to compare them. Up top, you will see that I have put the 2 6-pans, which are also in the Star Wars palettes, 6-pan palettes, and but also in the Mega Mothership Celestial Divinity on each side above. So there's all 18. And once again, the top shades are the repeats, and the bottom row are the new shades. If you got those Star Wars palettes, they were give or take about $65 each. And this you're getting $78 for the 2 Star Wars 6-pans and 6 new shades. For me, that was a win. You'll have to make up your own mind, of course, for you. Today, it's Friday the 9th. Pat McGrath released more of her holiday collection. She released 3 4-pan palettes, a ton of new lipsticks, and a highlighter. Ooh, a cheek product from Pat McGrath. We're getting closer to getting a blusher, folks. So there's a lot more coming out, and I do realize that my viewers have decisions they want to make. If there are any other swatches that you need to see to help you make your decision, simply follow me on Instagram and give me a holler here or over there, and I will get those swatches up for you because I know that none of us are made out of money. All right, let's get into it here. We are going to do 2 looks using the new 6. So we're going to go into the middle 2 columns here. We're going to do one very simple everyday look and then one slightly crazier look. So let's get started, shall we? For our simple, I really want to play with this, by the way. Look at this, look at the shift in that. Whoa! Okay, but for right now, let's just go in here, and I'm going to go in this eye here and just kind of do a little bit of this beautiful pink color. And I'm just kind of swirling it around. I've got nothing on my eyes, of course, as you can tell. And I'm just kind of swirling it around and doing just a little bit of a pretty pink color. I don't want anyone to be intimidated by this. I mean, that is the goal of fashion. I have worked in fashion for a very long time. And if you are not intimidated, they're upset. That means they weren't doing it right. Consumer fashion is supposed to feel exclusive and intimidating, but it really isn't. We're all just people. So please don't be intimidated. I'm going to go now into this here, again at the top of the palette, and I'm going to knock it off a little bit because I can see that it's going to be very pigmented, thankfully. These shadows so far are performing extraordinarily easily blendable and creamy, and I am attempting here to just do a very everyday look on this eye. And I'm even going to go in with that very same color here, if you can see that, and I'll lay that color down all the way underneath my eye. For me, this is an everyday eye. For some of you, it might be a bit tad too smoky. For me, that's very everyday. I'm a bit extra. All right, let's do something on this eye, and let's play with these colors here that are a little bit wilder. I'm really kind of dying to get in these. And as I noticed in my swatches that I did for you guys, Wow, those 6-pound palettes that I had missed out on before, I had really missed them, let me tell you. What I'm doing is putting that same rosy shade that I used before over my entire eye. And then we're gonna go in with my finger here. Well, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a little bit of this in the crease, just as a transition. And I did it, I'm gonna have to blend because I didn't tap that off. I'm really trying to remember not to blow on my brushes because it disgusts so many of you, rightfully so, especially in a pandemic era. So I'm trying to be really good about it, but then I forget to. Okay, so we have, they're not matching, my eyes are not matching at all, but I really want to get in here with this quadruple, whatever chrome it is. This could be a day look if you're bold. I have just put it all over the lid. I got a little bit underneath. That's no problem. I'll clean that off camera. Clean that up off camera. And then I kind of want to go in here. I'm going to do it with a brush. And don't worry, I mean, obviously, I'm getting the gold in there and I want the gold underneath. Let's make use of that little bit of fallout and put the gold underneath. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Okay, let me get some eyeliner and mascara on, and then let's talk a little bit more about this palette. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I have added some Pat McGrath Permagel eyeliner in shade to this eye, and in the kind of electric blue shade in this eye. So let's do a close-up here. Here is my everyday eye using 2 shades and one kind of taupe brown eyeliner. And here is the more fun eye where I employed all the different multi-chrome shades onto the lids. 2 very different looks. I do not expect you to purchase a palette for $78 just to use 2 shades on an everyday eye, but it's nice to know that you can. And on this eye, did I know what I was doing? No, I just played with it. Once you get rid of that intimidation factor, you can do anything you want. It's just makeup, it washes off. If you hate the way it looks, wash it off and start over. I love it. I just employed whatever I could. I threw it all on there, put some eyeliner on, went with the mascara. I would even probably do this for every day. It's just fun and it uses the colors. Don't be intimidated by the kind of high fashionness of it. Welcome it. High fashion is your friend. It does influence and trickle down into everything that we wear and really shapes our culture. It's not something that is intimidating or as exclusive as it sometimes makes itself out to be. I definitely recommend this palette. I think for the price point and the amount of shades you get some very, very kind of serious everyday shades that you could use just to create a look for work or Zoom. And you also have some really kind of fun shades when you feel like experimenting. I think it's a lovely gift and even an entryway, believe it or not, to Pat McGrath. Tell me, did you buy it? Tell me if you got any of the quads that were released today or the lipsticks. I must admit I picked up a little bit, so you'll see that soon. Leave me some comments below so we can chat. I really love to talk with you. I do have my 1,000 subscriber competition and celebration coming up really soon. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.